We are halfway through July. And hello again, everyone. Please excuse my voice today. It's just the nasal pressure from my sinuses right now. But welcome to Falls Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend enjoying WWE's two events that they had Saturday and Sunday in Atlanta. And man, did they have a great weekend. They had a really nice weekend down in Atlanta. It was great. So that's main event and Evolution did not disappoint. But I think for Raw tonight, our predictions were a little bit off. I think from especially for the results side. Steve. So throughout the time we have got together, uh, I'll go over both Saturday night's main event and Evolution, and I'll have some thoughts for you on those. And then I'll also give you guys what is going to be there for uh, SummerSlam. Excuse me one second. Just letting you know, if I ever have if I ever have to sneeze, I will turn my camera off and mute myself, just for the health conscious wise of everybody else. And then SummerSlam, the first ever two-night SummerSlam in the history of WWE. So WrestleMania is no longer getting just the 2 nights. It's going to be now for SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, the weekend of my birthday, actually, 2.5 weeks from now, August 2nd and 3rd. I will go over the card and what we've got so far already, even though Ron and I will not give our predictions until that week. So you guys can find me live every Wednesday night at 5 on YouTube, Kick, and Rumble at RI Broadcasting, as well as Twitch at RI underscore broadcasting. These four, you will find me live every Wednesday at 5. And then afterwards on U42, Odyssey at RI Broadcasting, and then also at RI Broadcasting for Space Hay, MeWe, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Patreon. But then my show will be podcasted afterwards the following morning on Red Circle, Spotify, and TuneIn podcasts at RI Broadcasting. And if you want to help support us financially, if you want to become a member, a supporting financial member of FCA Going On Daily and Sports Unfolded, support us at Rhode Ron has everything that you will need right there to help you join the family. This broadcast of Falls Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn Productions, Ron Rigo, and Broadcasting for the use of our audience. Any publication, reuse, or redistribution by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared everywhere and is greatly appreciated. Okay, let's dive right in. Saturday night's main event, going in order. Personally, Ron, I think for Saturday night's main event, I think we actually did better than we did with Evolution. But let's find out. Going in order from the top of the card to the bottom. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Randy won. Ron, I believe you and I both had Randy. Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for each one I say. Okay. Ron and I both have one. So, Logan Paul sucker punched Randy after the bell. Jelly Roll then got involved, blocking the Mavericks' punch before knocking his adversary out of the ring with a blow of his own. However, he did not see the Claymore kick on McIntyre, and Jelly Roll got knocked out and got blasted by the Claymore. Sorry, just trying to fix my nose for 1 second here. Um, so this opportunity that I'm looking at between Randy and Jelly versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, I believe this is going to set us up for SummerSlam, and I believe that's already been confirmed. So when I go through the SummerSlam card and what's there, right now they're not really saying what's on night one or night two just yet because it is still 2 weeks out. But I'm kind of getting like an idea of like what is going to be on that card in general. So you know, we will see what happens with that. But I would say that for me, all in all, though, it was a phenomenal show. Um, I definitely am enjoying the match, but I just think that the biggest thing for me when you look at Randy is I believe he's still going to be in the title picture. My only concern is I don't know when he's going to get back into that picture. Um, but seeing him win, though, nonetheless, is always a delight for me. So sorry about that. So Ryan and I got the first one right, and now we will move on to the next one. All right. So the next one. This was not on the card for us, Rod, so I don't think that we can actually talk about it or even give our thoughts on it. Solo Sikoa retained his United States title against Jimmy Uso. That one was not on there. But this one was on there, Ron, and I think you and I both got this one wrong, and that's because of what happened in the very end of the match. LA Knight defeated Seth Rollins. Ron, I think you and I both got this one wrong. I think you and I both picked Seth. But I think I picked Seth because of outside interference. But Ellie and I did, yeah, Ellie and I did win clean, but that was because Seth re-aggravated his knee. As of right now, according to what's going on with Seth, it looks like the timetable is 4 to 5 months. Um, so it looks like Seth is going to miss SummerSlam, and it looks like that he may not even be back until probably after Survivor Series. I'll be starting to even as able to come back for War Games. But even though with Seth being a heel, I still think that a lot of people are going to miss him. And you know, personally, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this out loud. I am going to miss him, and that is just because of the um, talent that he is, and I think of the steam that he's building up there with it. Um, it's definitely sad, 100%. It's definitely sad. But on the same token, though, I am not really going to be throwing a temper tantrum when it comes to that situation, just because of the fact that, I'm not really going to be that crying about it. They have no good villains, yeah. I mean, I can understand that. Well, I mean, McIntyre has been a good heel. That is the one thing I have to give um, McIntyre is that he's always been a good heel. Um, but then, Ron, I think you and I both got this one right, so that gave us a 2-1 record on this one. Gunther did defeat Goldberg to retain the World Heavyweight title, so Goldberg did not win the title in his retirement match. So the multiple chops by Gunther finally took its toll on the decorated challenger, and that provided Gunther enough time to walk into Sleeper and put him to sleep for the final match of his career. So, Ron, you and I were 2-1 with that, and that will put me still a game behind you. Sorry, that'll put me still a point behind you. Now, Evolution. This was a very interesting night. Let me dive in first and go in order. The women's Intercontinental title, and Ron, I'm telling you, brother, I called it. I called it. Becky retained her title. You picked Bailey, so I think that one I did get you. So I got the first one, and you lost the first one. Yes, thumbs up, thumbs down. I believe you did pick Bailey, and I believe I did pick Becky. I just have to make sure. All right, perfect. So that was confirmed there. So Bailey won that by sorry, Becky won that by basically stealing it after Bailey hit a rose plant on Lyra. Becky then rolled up Bailey to escape with the title. This one, however, Ron, you did get one on me back. JC Jane retained her NXT Women's title against Jordan Grace, so I did get that one wrong. So we're both now 1-1. And then Ron, uh, you and I both got this one wrong. You and I both thought that Charlotte and Alexa were going to win the tag team titles. Nope, that didn't happen. Roxanne and Raquel retained and brought them back to the Judgment Day. So you and I are both now 1-2. And then Tiffany Stratton defeated Trish Stratus. You and I both got that one right, so we're 2-2. That match definitely was good. And then Jade Cargill versus Naomi No Holds Barred. You and I both picked Jade, so we're both 3-2. We didn't pick anybody for the Battle Royal because we didn't even know who was going to be in there. But Stephanie Vega is going to clash in Paris at the end of the month for a championship opportunity. But however, Ron, you and I actually went 3-3 because for the women's world heavyweight title, neither Io or Rhea got that title. Naomi cashed in Money in the Bank, made it a triple threat, and she is now the women's world champion. So you and I both went 3-3, and I'm still, I believe, a point behind you. You know, hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But I will say though that it did come to me as a shock to see Naomi win that title back. Um, Granted, I also had to come to the realization that I did believe that Naomi would get it at some point, um, because it's very rare that you see someone who has Money in the Bank cash in and lose. But on the same side of the coin, though, um, I have also seen multiple times somebody try to attempt to cash it in, and they just get railroaded because the time's either not right or something happens to cause them to be interfered with. But for Naomi's case, I was surprised of how clean that was because I also know that when it comes to um, Naomi's character as a heel, nothing is clean on that. So it definitely was very, very interesting in that situation as well as that case right there. But it definitely causes some speculation regarding for Naomi. How is she going to be as champion? And it's just going to cause a lot of questions regarding like her title run and her reign, which will now lead me over the SummerSlam because the card is already shaping up to be pretty damn nice. And obviously, I'm going to find out in 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks, which one's night one, which ones are night two. But here is what I have got for you right now. So for SummerSlam, this is what I have regarding the matches in tow. Um, we obviously know for the undisputed WWE Championship, it's John Cena and Cody. It's the rematch from WrestleMania. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus McIntyre and Paul. That has also been added. Um, we also know that for the women's title, it's Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Rhea, Io, and Naomi are going to be in a triple threat. That was confirmed on Raw Monday night. That has been locked in. Women's Intercontinental title, Becky versus Lara, because Lara defeated Becky in a 2 out of 3 fall #1 contenders match on Raw Monday night. And then after running the gauntlet, CM Punk is going to finally get a title shot. He'll be facing Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And guess who came back at the end of that at the end of Raw that night? The OTC, Roman Reigns. No one has seen him since the night after WrestleMania. And guess who he came after? Bronson and Braun. He went after Reed and Breaker. I've got a feeling we're gonna get Roman and Jay versus those two at SummerSlam. Nothing's locked in on that yet. Um, Roman is going to be on the Raws that is remaining for July, leading up to SummerSlam. And then there is another match that I actually believe could happen. I think they're just trying to build up a little bit more to it. The men's Intercontinental title. Dirty Dom Mysterio versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. I think that'll be an ass kicker of a match. I really hope that match gets on the card. That would be an amazing match. And personally, I would love to see AJ get that title back one more time and actually be a champion because I know because I know that next year is not only the final year of his contract with WWE, that's actually going to be the last year of his Hall of Fame career. So AJ is going to retire in 26. Give him one last run properly. That's the way that I would see it. But with all that being said, guys, that's all I've got for you for right now. For next week's broadcast, we'll keep diving into SummerSlam, SmackDown, and Raw results, and we will get ready for the biggest weekend of the summer for WWE. Every Wednesday night at 5, guys. Every Wednesday night at 5 on YouTube, Kick, and on Rumble, and as well as on Twitch at RI_broadcasting. That is where you'll be able to find me every Wednesday at 5. Funk, you put those ads back up, please. Um, just so you guys have a quick reminder, one last time. That is everything you'll be able to find me on. And they'll be podcasted afterwards on Red Circle, Spotify, and TuneIn Podcasts at RI Broadcasting no later than the following morning. On behalf of the man behind the scenes, the creator of RIB Where We Go, Erik Dunn here saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of False Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Guys, we'll talk to you next week. We are officially on the road to SummerSlam. Thank you so much for watching and listening.